If your organization had to move away from Windows in the next 90 days, could you actually do it? Because for most organizations, the challenge isn't deciding to modernize. It's not knowing what will break when they do. Hi everyone, and thank you for joining today. I'm really excited to walk you through something that's becoming increasingly important for organizations right now. How to move from traditional Windows environments into a more modern, cloud-first ecosystem without breaking anything along the way. Because let's be honest, most organizations don't avoid transformation because they don't see the value. They avoid it because of uncertainty. Questions like, will our application still work? What happens to legacy tools? Are our devices even compatible? What about security risks during transition? These are very real concerns, and that's exactly why the Chrome Readiness tool exists. So today, I'm not just going to show you features, I'm going to walk you through how this tool evolved, what problems it actually solves, and how it helps organizations move forward with confidence without guesswork. By the end of this session, you should feel like, okay, this migration is actually manageable. Let's start with the evolution, because this is important to understand where we are today. Initially, the solution was called ChromeOS Readiness Tool, and back then, its purpose was quite focused. It was mainly answering a single question: can my organization move to ChromeOS? So the analysis was more surface level, basic compatibility checks, high-level readiness indicators. But as organizations started using it, something interesting happened. They didn't just want a yes or no answer, they wanted clarity. They wanted depth. They wanted more insights. They wanted to understand why something is not ready. What exactly is blocking the transition? What can we do about it? Are there any solutions? Can we have more insights? And that's where the tool evolved. Today, as the Chrome Readiness tool, it does something much more powerful. It doesn't just assess Chrome OS readiness in isolation. It actually analyzes your existing Windows environment, browser landscape, and more. And when I say that, I mean it looks at the applications running in your systems, how those applications behave, what devices and peripherals are connected, and even how users interact with the browsers. So instead of asking, can we move? We are now answering what will work, what won't, and what needs adjustment. What solutions can be used? This shift is very important because migration is no longer just a technical decision. It's a business decision. And business decisions need data, visibility, and confidence. That's exactly what this evolved tool delivers. Now, before we go deeper into features, let's talk about why organizations are even considering this shift in the first place. Because this isn't about adapting a new operating system. It's about changing how work happens. Traditionally, organizations relied heavily on locally installed applications, heavy operating systems, manual updates, and complex device management. But that model is slowly becoming a limitation. Today, organization needs flexibility, remote accessibility, stronger security, and reduced operational overhead. And that's where Chrome OS comes in. From a security perspective, Chrome OS is fundamentally different. It's designed with sandboxing, automatic updates, and minimal attack surface, which means few vulnerabilities compared to traditional environments. From a cost perspective, there's a big advantage as well. Instead of constantly replacing hardware, you can extend device life using Chrome OS Flex. And from a productivity perspective, everything becomes more cloud-driven. So employees are no longer tied to a single device or location. But again, and this is important, even if this sounds great, no organization is going to move forward blindly. They need assurance. And that's where this tool becomes the bridge between intention and execution. You can try the free assessment from the Chrome Readiness tool even right now, downloading it from our website. Let's now move into one of the most critical parts of any migration: applications. Because at the end of the day, applications are what keep the business running. When the Chrome Readiness tool analyzes your environment, it carefully evaluates each application and assigns it a readiness status. But this is not just labeling. There's reasoning behind each status. Example, when an application is marked as ready to switch, what that really means is this application can run in a ChromeOS environment without causing any disruption. It might already be browser-based or fully compatible through a supported environment. For these applications, there's no concern. Now, when we say ready with verification, this is where things get interesting, because technically the application can work, but there may be certain features that behave differently. For example, maybe a specific plugin doesn't function the same way. Maybe a reporting feature needs validation, or maybe a feature is not functioning. So here, the tool is essentially saying, you're almost there, just validate based on your actual business usage. Now let's talk about blocked applications. There are applications that cannot run natively in the ChromeOS environment, and they have to use the alternative apps. And this is where many organizations initially panic. But actually, this is not the end of the road, because we provide a solution. We recommend Cameo virtualization as a solution. And what Cameo does is, it allows those applications to run virtually. So instead of forcing a replacement, you can still use your legacy applications. However, we don't stop there. We also provide Cameo Readiness Insights, because even in virtualization, there might be limitations. So we proactively help organizations understand what might still need attention and how to avoid future issues. Now, one of my favorite features here is how we handle unknown applications. Because in real enterprise environments, not everything is documented perfectly. So instead of ignoring these, we allow users to customize readiness statuses. That means your internal knowledge, your team's experience can directly influence the assessment. Now let's shift into something very relevant today: AI usage. Most organizations are already using AI tools in some way. But here's the challenge: not all AI usage is visible. Employees might install random AI desktop applications, third-party tools, unverified platforms, and this creates serious risks: data leakage, compliance violations, security concerns. So what our tool does is, it identifies installed AI applications and provides a Gemini readiness and suggests Gemini-based alternative AI solutions. This guides users towards safer alternatives. So instead of restricting AI, we provide a clear path to a secure AI adoption. Let's now talk about one of the most powerful recent additions: Browser Insights, enhanced with the CEP Accelerator feature. Today, the browser is no longer just a browsing tool. It's essentially the primary workspace. People access applications, upload data, interact with systems, all through the browser. So if the browser is not secure, the entire organization is exposed. This feature gives full visibility into which browsers are used, what extensions are installed, what permissions they request, what domains have been accessed. And this is where things get really interesting. Because many extensions request very sensitive permissions, like reading browsing data, accessing user activity. We highlight verified and unverified extensions with details, unsecured and restricted domains accessed, possible session theft vulnerabilities, so organizations can make informed decisions. This helps organizations move toward a more controlled and secure browser environment. And that's why we recommend Chrome Enterprise Premium for centralized control and advanced security. As a matter of fact, you can do a 30-second browser check on the Chrome Readiness Tool website and assess how vulnerable your browser platform is with quick 5 questions. Now let's quickly talk about how all of this actually works in practice, because insights are only useful if they are easy to implement. We provide flexible deployment options. For example, if you are using Active Directory, you can integrate seamlessly with the Enterprise Flow deployment option. If you're using UEM solutions, you can choose the other deployment options method to deploy the tool across the organization. You also have full control over how long data is collected and, importantly, where data is stored. You can choose on-premise storage in a network shared folder or Google Cloud Storage bucket. Once the data is collected, you get access to detailed raw data reports, executive summary reports. So whether you are a technical user or a business stakeholder, you get the level of detail you need. So just to bring everything together, what we are really doing with the Chrome Readiness Tool is helping organizations move forward without uncertainty. Because migration is not just about switching from one system to another. It's about making sure your applications, your devices, your security posture, everything continues to work smoothly in a modern, cloud-based environment. And that's exactly what this tool enables. It gives you clear visibility into your current Windows environment, identifies what's ready, what needs attention, and most importantly, shows you a path forward. So instead of guessing, you are making data-driven decisions with confidence. Now, the best part is, getting started is actually very simple. You can download and use the Chrome Readiness Tool completely free of charge. So if your organization prefers to run the assessment independently, you absolutely can. You can deploy it, collect the data, and generate insights on your own. But at the same time, we also understand that some organizations might need a bit more guidance, especially when it comes to deployment setup, interpreting results, planning the migration strategy. So for that, we do offer custom support plans or premium plans, where our teams can support you throughout the entire process, from assessment all the way to execution. And if you're interested in exploring the tool further, we've included the official website link in the description. Feel free to check it out after the session. With that, thank you again for joining today. I hope this session gave you a clearer understanding of how to approach your ChromeOS journey in a more structured and confident way.